Good day, dear friends. In today's short video, I'm going to explain what to eat when we are ill. So before we go into the lists of what to eat and what not to eat, we need to understand what happens to our digestion and digestive fire, the Agni, as we call it in Ayurveda, when we are not well, whether we have fevers or bacterial infections, viral infections, or flares of the chronic diseases like colitis, dermatitis, psoriasis, cancer recurrences, etc. Whenever we are ill, what body does is it uses this concept called prioritize and postpone. It needs the same digestive fire, the energy that the body has got to fight the disease that it would use for digestion. But it knows that fighting the disease is urgent, so it postpones the need to digest, and hence that's the reason we do not feel hungry when we are not well. Even if we try to eat certain things, we throw up. So, but we need nutrition. So, what do we do? Just because the body is using the digestive fire, the Agni, to fight the disease, the energy to fight the disease, give the body very easy to digest foods so that whatever the remaining Agni that it has got, it can actually use it to just do bare minimum digestion and get nutrients, and also stimulate Agni in a positive way, in safely. So the simple trick is to eat boiled soft foods and liquids, okay, and freshly cooked foods, and avoid stale and processed foods when you are not well. Either way, you have to avoid stale and processed foods even otherwise, but when it's not well, you have to make sure that you are getting the fresh food every meal. So I'll just and avoid raw foods, because raw foods are difficult to digest. Even raw salads, avoid them. Okay, raw fruits also avoid them. You need to boil and make them soft and then consume. So I'll just give you some simple example foods that you should favor and some sample foods that you should avoid. You know, some vegetables are easier to boil than others. Like, sweet potato is better than potatoes. So favor simple to digest foods when they are boiled and soft, like carrots, sweet potatoes, squashes, and greens, etc. That can be easily boiled and taken in a soft form. And boiling dals, remember, khichdi is very common to consume when you're not well, but when you are making khichdi, the moong dal, always soak it for at least 2 to 4 hours, depending on the weather conditions in your place. Because without soaking, if you consume dal is very dry. It doesn't have water, right? It is not moist, so it is very difficult to digest. So soak it very thoroughly and then take that water out, and with fresh water boil it, and very softly. So soft khichdi made of white basmati rice and soaked and boiled dal is what you should take. And you can take rasam in moderation, because rasam stimulates that Agni safely. And as I mentioned, even raw fruits you have to avoid. So, but fruits are good for nutrition. So take apples and pears kind of fruits and naturally sweet tasting fruits, and then, peel them and boil them and then consume them when you have fevers and, colitis type of dermatitis, psoriasis type of recurrences, or cancer. You can talk to the doctor and see what fruits you can consume, and make sure that they are soft to consume and easy to digest. And some of the sample foods that you should avoid, some of the examples are all fatty foods, like, pasta, pizza, oil fries, you have to avoid. And difficult to digest foods like brown rice is difficult to digest even if you soak it, so avoid when you have fevers and recurrences of chronic illnesses. Raw nuts, seeds, avoid them. Nuts are good, but that doesn't mean that you will just directly eat them. Raw nuts, and best to avoid when you're not well, because they are heavy foods. They are difficult to digest. After you regain your health, you can consume them, soak them, and boil them, and then consume them. Um, and avoid yogurt, and also avoid cheese, but you can consume buttermilk, and you should consume buttermilk when you have diarrhea type of the issues. But avoid yogurt. Yogurt is inflammatory, buttermilk is cooling. So buttermilk is okay, depending on the kind of the illness you have. If you have asthma, buttermilk is also not good. But if you have diarrhea and high blood pressure and all that, buttermilk is good. But yogurt is not good either condition. Alcohol is rajasic in nature. It is very heating, so it's not good to take when you're not well. And sugar, white sugar, dampens Agni, the digestive fire, so you should not consume any sugar-rich foods. So these are just examples. This is not an exhaustive list, but I hope you get the concept that because the body is using the Agni to fight the illness, you should make body's life easy by giving it easy to digest foods, like a fresh boiled soft foods, either in liquid forms or really softly cooked khichdi, etc. Hope it was useful, and till my next video, bye, and thank you for listening to me today.